Good morning, it's Phil Thatch and I'm here at my favorite place, Tennessee River Park, Curtain Pole Road, and look who's here with me. It's David Sailors, the Georgia photographer, and he's got his Z6 and his 200 to 500, and we're gonna go look for some ducks and do all sorts of stuff today. David is a vintage lens genius and a new Z6 owner, so yeah, we're gonna have...
Or is this Phil's rig?
It might be. Or maybe that one's mine over there on the ground.
We're matchy-matchy today.
Yeah, oh, twins, twinsies. All right, so let's see if we can find some birds.
I want to see these hooded mergansers. Am I saying it right?
That's what they're called.
I want to see these birds.
I hope they're there.
Now, let's go find them. Come on.
Unfortunately, we did not see any hooded mergansers today, but I'll put a link up in the top of the screen if you want to see some. I have a video that has a half an hour of hooded mergansers from this location. But this bird is a song sparrow, and next here are some Canada geese soaking up the beautiful golden hour light at Curtain Pole Road.
Well, not much happening here at River Park Curtain Pole Road, so David and I are going to hop in my car and ride around to some other wildlife photography spots and see what we can do. Well, here I am backlit, and I was going to tell you about how I brought David to Volkswagen Wetlands, another one of my favorite spots, just to show it to him, not figuring we'd see anything. And I showed him where I dropped my previous vlogging camera into the water, and next thing you know, we run across, how many deer do you think it was?
4.
4 deer. Got a few pictures with Z6s. David's put his 1.4 teleconverter on. I'm jealous now because he's got the version 3, mine's the older version 2. I'm trying to convince him that my vintage version is better so we can trade.
No.
But I don't think he's going for it.
So here is the deer photo that I made with the Nikon Z6 and the 200 to 500 f5.6. It's kind of nice to see them in the water like that. There's even some reflection involved. And I'm trying to use more and more this vintage 1973 50mm f1.4 Minolta lens. So I put it on just quickly and I made this photograph of David. Now it's manual focus and a tiny depth of field, and I missed the focus a little bit in this picture, but when I learn how to nail it really good, it's going to be something.
David's getting artsy-fartsy with a mirrorless camera, a teleconverter, a 500mm lens to take a picture of this glove.
David's glove photo turned out really cool, so make sure to check out his video to see it.
Oh, that's how you get those in-car footage.
Yeah, I just set it up on the dashboard. All right, so David and I have now arrived at Harrison Bay State Park. I've got him in the back of my rolling blind, and I'm in the front of my rolling blind. So we're going to try to roll through some of the park and see if we can capture some wildlife. And I'll see if I can't back the car up without running into something.
We were there to see red-headed woodpeckers, which are known to be at Harrison Bay State Park this time of year, and this certainly isn't that, but I really like this photograph of this man fishing in waders in the water right in front of the fishing pier with all the beautiful reflections.
You're good at identifying trees. I think the first comment you ever put on one of my videos was when you talked about that the shagbark or whatever it was.
Scaly bark hickory.
Yeah. All right, so we are still hanging around Harrison Bay State Park. We've seen...
I got one!
Dave was doing good, having a good old time. We spotted a red-tailed hawk, so that was pretty neat, and got some pictures of it, we think. And I definitely got a red-headed woodpecker, and we've seen some other songbirds. David got a picture of a white-throated sparrow, which is very cool. And I don't know how much longer we're going to stay here, but maybe a little bit, or we might go to another location pretty soon.
This is pretty awesome, guys.
So this is what we came to Harrison Bay State Park to see, a red-headed woodpecker. This one is a juvenile, but I was happy that finally we went to a location to see a certain bird, and there it was. And then as an added bonus, David and I got to make photographs of this red-tailed hawk out of the Hyundai Sonata rolling blind.
We stopped here on the road out of Harrison Bay State Park because I saw some egret, or we saw some egret.
I said, what's those white birds?
But there's a male bufflehead out here, so that's kind of cool for this area of the country. Okay, so I got out of the car because I wanted to get closer, and I spooked the bufflehead, so we're going to move on.
But we got photos.
Yeah, we did. Sort of. It's like a dot in the middle of the frame.
So there's the male bufflehead, and this picture has been cropped quite a bit, and the duck is still very, very tiny in the frame. But with all that said, this is still my best bufflehead picture.
You're not.
Yeah, David's teleconverting. I'm going straight Z6, and I don't know. So, when we go to the next place, we won't need a teleconverter unless we do. So we'll see.
Coffee is next on the agenda.
Coffee and potty break.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. Well, I brought David to the great blue heron photography capital of Tennessee, the tailwaters of the Chickamauga Dam, and we're going to do some more photography here to try to get some great blue heron up close. So I was kind of the host on today's event, so I didn't concentrate a whole lot on trying to get a fantastic great blue heron picture. I come here all the time, but I wanted to make sure that David was able to get some really good great blue heron pictures. And I believe just based on looking at this photograph of David working on the blue heron that he probably got some really good ones. A little bit later on I made this photo of a train, but it's not really a photo of a train. If you look closer, you'll see several black vultures flying in the sky above the train and a great blue heron near the train. Well, we had our fill of great blue heron photography. I think David liked it. Did you like it?
Yes, it was awesome.
Woo! So good times, and now we're gonna, I don't know, get lunch or something.
Food is important.
It's very important. We are continuing, David and I, the tour of Let's Take the Georgia Photographer to all of Phil's favorite spots. And now we're here at Middle Creek Falls, or the trailhead for Middle Creek Falls, right on the side of Burp Creek Mountain Road. And we're gonna try to get there in one piece. We'll see how it goes.
Real scared to say Suck Creek Canyon.
I am, indeed. This is the location where the trail ends. It's all rock hopping from here. I've made a couple of photographs here, and I may put one on the screen right now from when the creek was rolling way harder than this. This photograph was made on Halloween Day, October 31st of 2019, at the exact location where I was standing in the video clip from before. And it looks like someone's been doing some rock stacking. All right, well, I'm up here with David Rock Hopping Georgia Photographer Sailors, and he comes up here on his very first trip and finds an all new to me composition, because I've been too chicken to get here, but he got me here. So here we are, and we're shooting, well, first I want to show you David's rig. David doesn't have an ND filter that fits this particular lens. He's counting down to destiny over here with his picture.
Got my photo. There's my special circular polarizer attachment, and it's installed.
Just hanging it on there. Watch that last step. Oh, look how blue the water is right there.
It is pretty.
That's awesome.
And I'm getting nice water flow. Look at that.
So I'm shooting, I don't have a neutral density on, but I'm at low 1.0 f/16, 1/6 of a second, 5-second timer.
Well, it's a circular polarizer.
Oh, is it? Yours is a polarizer? Okay, I thought he had a neutral density. Here's the 24-70 f2.8G that I used to make this photograph right here. Nice distant composition of the waterfall. I had to do a little bit of dodging and burning to get it to look right. And then later I used this $49 combination 70 to 210 with the circular polarizer filter. Really happy with this semi-vintage lens that made this photograph that you see right here. Did some dodging and burning on this one as well, but pretty neat photograph for a lens and filter combination that cost under $50. Well, I made a couple of shots from here with the 24-70, and then I switched over to the old vintage 70 to 210 push-pull and made some shots. What'd you use, David?
I started out with the 100mm Minolta, or is it a Pentax? Might be a Pentax macro lens. Got a good photo of the waterfall proper. And then I wanted to get the river flowing down in front of it with the waterfall in the background, so I put the kit lens back on. It's actually a really good lens, and was able to get the shot with a 55mm focal length, looking up through here. Unfortunately, the waterfall's kind of in the shade,
Yeah.
so it's darker than the water running out here, but I think we can actually pull the shadows up in post and it'll look okay.
Sounds good. I like that. I've never heard anything bad about that kit lens except Thomas Heaton doesn't like it, and I think he missed focus with it one time and gave up on it.
I think Thomas is a smidgen of a prima donna. If Thomas watches this video, it'll be hilarious to see him comment.
That would be fun.
Comment below, Thomas, if you're the one that sees this video. Let me know, because I like the kit lens. Works great.
Yeah, and everybody else that I've heard talk about that lens says it's fantastic.
Yeah,
I've heard people say it's one of the best kit lenses for any system anywhere. So who knows?
All right, we're gonna go up there and get a better composition.
That's the plan.
Let's do this.
Well, I climbed across right there and I got my britches wet, but my feet are dry, and I'm working on a shot with the 14 millimeter at 14 millimeters. My settings are 1/1.6, f/22, and low 1, which is 50 ISO. And I've got the whole falls in, and it looks pretty cool. It's getting pretty misty up here, so my lens is probably getting all fogged up.
I really love this waterfall. Middle Creek Falls has become one of my very favorite places to go. This is my third time going there, and I just really enjoy it every single time. It's a great place. Difficult hike to get all the way to where I'm standing.
But there it is, from the bottom to the top, and directly behind me, Middle Creek Falls. What an awesome place. Just minutes from downtown Chattanooga. Now I have to figure out some other way to get out of here, because the way I came, I don't think I can make it back without falling in. So some other way, I'm gonna have to climb my way out of this mess. Meanwhile, David's down there vlogging and being awesome. I think he took some pictures of me making my picture up here, so I'm really excited about seeing them. Oh, and I just noticed now I can see all the way down to Blank Creek Mountain Road. I see the tops of cars going by, so it's not that far to get here, but it's tricky. Well, we have made it back to our starting point. How you doing?
Yeah.
And I really appreciate you coming with me.
Dude.
Come with me. It was a great time.
I'm gonna do
lots
this
and
different.
lots of fun.
Once we get done vlogging his extra,
Extra, outro. I call it the bye-bye. Anyway, it was great. Good times. Really nice to meet David and hang out with him today and go to all my favorite spots. Next time he's got to take me to his favorite places. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.